back to A Simple Life with Chris and Tara. I'm Cassie and this is Mom.
Today, Cassie and I are making homemade zucchini bread. I didn't realize we still had this much of a zucchini left. Well, it's the end of summer. What did you guys do with all your zucchini bread? Did I say what to do with your zucchini bread? Yes. Okay, start over. Okay. End of summer. And what are you going to do with all of your zucchini you have? Well, we're going to show you how you can make homemade zucchini bread. We have all of our ingredients all measured out for our zucchini bread. We're going to go ahead and shred up our zucchini and then we'll get started.
Now I'm going to chop off the ends of the zucchini and then we're going to shred it.
Watch your fingers. I know a lot of people, when they're shredding zucchini, a lot of people wonder if you should do the seeds or not have the seeds. We, when it comes to our zucchini bread, don't care to have the seeds. It doesn't matter. Now, when you go to make like the mock apple pie, apple crisp, using the zucchini, then I would go ahead and take the seeds out then. But just when we're making the bread, it doesn't matter. When you're making your bread, really, this is the only thing that's kind of time consuming is shredding your zucchini, and really it doesn't take that long either, but it just seems like it when you're going through the process. And when you're shredding your zucchini, you want to make sure you're very careful to keep your fingers away from going on the edge because it will cut your fingers. It's very sharp. This recipe calls for 2 cups. And get our measuring cup. And in here you can see a 4-cup measure, so we're going to go ahead and measure it up to the 2-cup line. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so we'll kind of squish it down in there a little bit. And as you can see, we still don't quite have enough, so we'll go ahead and keep on shredding our zucchini. So I say we have the 1 large zucchini, and that right now is enough to make, this recipe calls for 2 cups of shredded zucchini, so that makes 2 loaves of bread. But you don't have to use just the extra large zucchinis also you get out of the garden. You can go ahead and use your small ones too. It just might take, say 3 or 4 of them to equal out to your 1 large, extra large. And we can go ahead and, let's see, where's our 2-cup line? And where's our 2-cup? What do you think, Cassie? Is that good or too much? Not enough?
Just enough.
We're gonna go ahead and get our zucchini mess all cleaned up. We'll be back with all of our ingredients to go ahead and get our bread started.
Now we're going to mix in the dry ingredients together.
So there's 3 cups of flour, and then in a little dish right here, she has measured out a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of baking soda. And she's gonna go ahead and put that in there. And then now, go ahead, you need your teaspoon of cinnamon, flour, your baking powder, your baking soda, your cinnamon, and your salt, and then mix that up together. And then go ahead and set your bowl aside. And now go ahead and get your bigger bowl. So you're gonna need 3 eggs. Go ahead and crack them in that bowl if you would first, yeah. And these are eggs from our chickens. Okay, now you need your oil, your sugar, and your vanilla. And we're gonna be using 1 cup of oil. The oil we chose to use the avocado oil. You could use, vegetable oil or whatever kind, but we chose avocado oil. And then also we need sugar, and it calls for 2 1/4 cups white sugar. Okay, so you added your 2 1/4 cup of white sugar. Now it's time to add your 3 teaspoons of vanilla, and go ahead and give that a good mix. Make sure you get vanilla stirred in there really good and your sugar all mixed in really good. And whenever you're done, Good? Now, slowly go ahead, pour in your dry ingredients into your wet. Just kind of slowly put them in there and add them together. And you want to go ahead and stir it up really good and get it all mixed in. Oh, that's the beeper for your oven. Cassie went ahead and she preheated the oven to 325 degrees. So now the oven is hot and ready. Cassie did a really good job getting it all mixed in. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and we've already shredded our 2 cups of zucchini. We're gonna go ahead and we'll add this in. So there's our 2 cups of shredded zucchini. And then we'll go ahead and give this a stir. Get this all mixed in. Now it won't be so tough to move around once you get the zucchini in there. It'll be a little bit easier to stir. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grease our loaf pans and then we'll be back. Okay, we got all of our loaf pans greased. We only have one big one, and then Cassie decided she wanted to go ahead and try some smaller loaves. So we've got 4 here. I don't know how many it's gonna make it the little ones. We still have some extra ones on the side we can add. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fill up the larger loaf pan first. I never can remember quite how much to fill in there. So let's just put some in. I think I made the mistake and I got the larger of the loaf pan out, and so it only looks like it's gonna make us 1 today, so instead of 2. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll have to mix up some more. I forgot I had this bigger one pan, so instead of 2 loaves, we're only gonna have 1 right now, which is fine. I forgot about this pan being the extra large one. I think this is why this is the one that I think takes a long time for it to get done, but that's okay. So we have this one. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna stick it in the oven, and it's gonna bake for, we're gonna go ahead and bake it for 45 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and pull it out and check on it, and then I'm sure it'll have to go longer than 45 minutes, but then we'll check on it and then put it back in again. Let's go ahead and stick it in the oven. Okay. 45, and we'll be back. Okay, we went ahead and we made another batch of our zucchini bread mix. It says it makes 2 loaves, but they're calling for a 4x8 pan, and our pan that we used the first time is a much bigger pan than that. So now we mix up another batch. So now we're gonna go ahead and we've got our little small loaves greased and ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and see how many it makes. Go and make them like a little over
My
around.
estimation's right. It should be less good.
How many are you going to put in? 4? Okay, well, let's go on to the next one and see. How many of them little small loaves is going to make? Probably more than 4?
Probably 1 more than 4 than last one. I believe my guesstimation was correct.
These pans are also, they were already greased and ready to go for us too. Okay, she went ahead and greased the last little pan loaf for us. So these are all the little mini loaves. So she has 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she's filling up the 5th one now. So the recipe for sure make 5 little mini loaves. The recipe says it will make 2 loaves if they're 4x8 size. But like I said again before, our pan we used, the loaf earlier, was it was a bigger loaf pan. So it was a bigger 4x8, so it was held the whole recipe. So we'll see how it turns out. It takes a lot longer for that one to cook. I forgot when I got that one out that it does that, but that's okay. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna stick these mini loaves on a baking sheet just so it's easier to transfer them in and out of the oven. You can go ahead and bring that sheet over, would you? Okay, and then do you want me to pop it in the oven, or you're going to? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. Our timer is about to go off. I know it's not done yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how far it's got. So you can still see it's kind of wiggly in the middle, so it's definitely not done. But what we're gonna go ahead and do is, let's move this up a rack. We can put our little mini loaves in. And then we'll go ahead and set the timer for them for 40 minutes. Actually, let's go ahead and do 30, and then we'll be back.
Okay, from looks of it, the timer has gone off, and now it's time to check if the big one's done.
Oh, it's still kind of wobbly in the middle.
Nuts. E.
Yep, use your knife. Yep, okay. So let's close it up. Set it for maybe another 10 minutes. Okay guys, we went ahead and we took it out of the oven and it is all done. And here it is. It took longer, of course, than 40 minutes because this was a bigger pan than what the recipe called for. And we have our other small mini loaves are now in the oven, and they are almost done as well. Okay, the bread is still hot, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut one open just because we're excited to try it. Bring it up. Okay, so the bread is all done. Even the small loaves are done now. And Cassie, go ahead and have a first bite. Is it good? Yeah? Still warm too, isn't it? Perfect time to put butter on it. So there you go, guys. There's our zucchini bread. And we ended up making one big loaf and then 5 small mini loaves. If you would, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thank you.